I shot a movie and then called The Tragedy of Adata. And most people, that's when actually the movement of cultural disability began. And when Nkem and I were talking, I said to her, you know what, I look at the system that we're in today, and I see cultural disability all over. And in the first place, you know, I'm sure all of you know that once we use the word disability, people are always thinking that we're talking about people who don't have hands, people who cannot speak, and all those things. But in my own aspect, when I sat back, I said, you know what? Those of us who have immigrated, both through immigration or migration from another country, generational movement, we're all suffering from that cultural disability. And I've seen those things across the border, through language, speech, education, in all spheres of life. So I began to propel this idea of a disability that we are all suffering it too. It's not only those who have speech impaired or wherever that have that disability. But I'm here to offer an encouragement, but it's good to talk about it. That it depends on how you look at it. We all have that cultural disability. Once you've been brought up from another culture, or you've grown up from another environment, from another culture, as we are here now, this is a culture. I'm sure all of you know that. Most of you know that this is a culture. The movement begins. But until you tell yourself, this is my identity, this is who I am, this is who I want to remain, irrespective of the external influence and culture that is around you. I'm here to let you know that it's important to get yourself involved. I went to school here. By the way, I went to City College. So when we passed through there on my way, I said, oh gosh, I showed my children, I was Shepherd Hall here and there, and it was fun to me. And I made sure that I went to school. I went through school. School did not go through me because I was in control. I knew my identity. I knew who I was. I remained who I am and who I will always want to be. And that is the idea. Most of us come here, we get influenced. These external factors are so strong because it's a culture everywhere. But it's important for you to know who you are, remain who you are, as you also involve yourself in another culture for whatever reason why you are here. Most of us came here out of different circumstances. Some are here by marriage, some are here by studies, economics, financial. It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, look at the bigger picture and say to yourself, how do you want to be defined? You are the only one that can define yourself, fortunately. And that is the good news. No one, if you leave that question not answered, others will define you.
Yes.
And that is the disability that we continue to go through all the time. Even in your language. I remember when I was in City College again, I was into acting, want to be the Broadway guy, best on Broadway. So I said, I must do everything to make sure I'm on Broadway. You know, I was in film school, but my minor was film, theater. So they said that I needed, one of my friends said I needed a speech therapist because of my accent. I said, okay, because my accent was heavy. So I went to a speech therapist, 70th on Broadway. I will never forget her because she did something that very day I remember to today. Out of this cultural disability I'm talking about. When I got to her, I was telling her how I really wanted to get rid of my accent and to get the American accent. And she looked at me and said, Michael, your name is Michael? I said, yes. She said, I like your accent. I'm like, but I don't like it. I want to go to Broadway. And she said to me, we got at it together. She got frustrated. She said, you know what? I was paying $30 an hour. My $30 ran out of argument. So she sat me down and said, Michael, okay, sit down. Let me tell you something. I like your accent. I want you to maintain your accent. Don't lose it. In a nutshell, that was the first wake-up call I began to get about my identity. Because most of us come here wanting to get rid of what we have and imbibing it. But she said to me, and I thank God that she was so honest to say to me, I like it. What I want you to do is to make sure you speak in a way that they can understand you. But you will not lose your accent. Your mother tongue, Michael, is very important to you. I sit back and I have watched over the years how many of us have lost our language. In terms of our name, we have anglicized our names to make sure that it's pronounceable to the quote-unquote the American way of pronunciation. And I have seen all these things, and these are disabilities that we are suffering. And it's my intention to call your attention and to say, it's okay. Be who you are. Success, you cannot be denied of success being that you don't have these things. Every culture wants to get their own on you. But once you remember who you are, you can be able to pick and choose from whatever you want to do. So the bottom line of my speech, and I'm running out of time. She looked at me twice. I don't want her to look at me again. And it's okay. I want to make sure that we all get into the groove of remaining who we are. Because it will not really matter. Identity is the key to what makes you who you are. And I will close with this. My daughter did something that I thought could not be done. She pierced the earring and she pierced another one. I'm sure all of you know behind it. And I was talking to my brother who is a medical doctor. And she said to me, my daughter said to me, what is wrong with that? And it just went off. She said she wants to do medicine. And I said yes. She said to me, well, those are the type of people we're looking for. I'm like, what do you mean those are the type of people you're looking for? The point is this, you have no idea where you're going in life. Remain who you are. Your own will always be there for you. Yes. You do not have to seek to be influenced in another area, in another culture, in another form of life. And the idea of seeking to belong is another strong point. Why do we have to belong in this? That's a very strong point. If you remain who you are, have your own identity, it will be well with you. Thank you very much.